Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you using Web API how to save images into a folder and image path into a SQL Server database table. And here we got the output, the header tag save images into project folder and image path into SQL Server database. Now I'm selecting the file with the upload controller, choose file. And notice here the type of the files is showing only the images files. See here all the images only. Now I'm selecting the tables image, open. Now before insert this tables JPG image file into project folder and the path into SQL Server database table, let's check in the SQL Server table the image saved table name is execute. The query executed successfully. Right now this table contains 0 rows. Let's insert the record, upload. See here we got a message, image saved successfully into folder and image path saved into database table. First we'll check the image is saved into our project folder or not. Solution Explorer, show all files. See here we got the images folder, expand that one, see the tables.jpg. The image is saved to this project folder, images folder, which is dynamically created. The folder is now second. Let's check the image path is saved into this table or not. Execute. See here we got the image ID, image name and image path. Oops. The headings are changed. Now it's not a big issue. So the image path is this one and the image name is tables.jpg. That's it. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a project in Web API, first we'll create a table in SQL Server database. I just logged into my SQL Server Management Studio. I'm expanding the root folder as well as the databases folder. Now in this databases folder, notice there is a CM folder which is my user database. I want to create a new table in this database. I'm selecting the database CM, right click the mouse, new query. Now let's create a table. Create table, image save is a table name. Let's add the columns image ID, which is an integer type, not null, primary key, identity 1,1, image name and varchar 150, and the last one is the image path and varchar. I'm adding the maximum. That's it. Let's create the table. Execute. And here we got a message, command completed successfully. Let's expand the CM database as well as the tables folder, and notice the table image save is added. Let's browse the table. I click the mouse, select top 1000 rows, and here we got the results of this newly created image save. Right now this table contains 0 rows. Now let's write the code in Web API to save the images into a project folder and image path into this image saved table. For this video tutorial, I'm creating a new Web API project. Go to File, New Project, and from the web templates I'm selecting ASP.NET Web Application and the .NET Framework. I'm using 4.6.1. The application name is Web API image path save db, which is a database. Is a project name. Click OK. And from the ASP.NET templates I'm selecting Web API. Click OK. And the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window. Open Solution Explorer. Now first in this project I am adding ADO.NET Entity Data Model. Right click the project name, add. I'm selecting ADO.NET Entity Data Model. The model name is image save. Click OK. And from the model contents I'm selecting the first option, EF Designer from database. Click next. Let's create a new SQL Server connection. New connection I'm selecting. I'm adding SQL Server name. After adding SQL Server name, now I'm selecting the database name. The table we have created in this CM database. So I have selected the CM database. Test connection is succeeded. OK. OK. And here we got the connection string of the selected database, and the connection string entity name is a CM entities, and I'm saving this connection string in the web.config file. Click next. And from the database objects I'm expanding the tables folder as well as DBO. Our table name is the image save. Select that one, click finish. And here the entity model is added to our project. Let's close this output message box. After adding the ADO.NET entity model, next open Solution Explorer, minimizing the references folder. Now in this controllers folder, I'm adding Web API controller. Right click the controllers folder, add. I'm selecting controller. Web API 2 controller empty, I'm selecting that one. Click add. The controller name is image path save. Add. And here we got our API controller image path save. Now first, when we are dealing with files, we need to import the namespace using system.io namespace. After that, using system.web namespace. Now in this API controller, I'm creating a iHttp action result method, public iHttp action result image save path, and this action result is the HTTP post method. Now my first condition is I want to store the images into a project folder. So let's create a new folder dynamically. String folder create is equals to HTTP context dot current dot server dot map path, and the map path method takes a string parameter between double quotes tilde between forward slashes. I'm adding the images, the folder name. If the images directory is not existing in our project folder, then I want to create not directory dot exist method folder create the variable name directory dot create directory, which takes a string as a path. I'm adding folder create the variable name, this one. After creating the folder, now I want to save the images into this images folder. If http context dot current dot request dot files dot all keys dot any method, variable file upload is equals to http context dot current dot request dot files, and now in these files I'm adding the key name, which is the image path save semicolon. If file upload is not equals to null, which means we have selected the file through file upload controller, and that file I want to save in this images folder. Variable save images is equals to server dot path dot combine method. Now in this combine method I'm adding this path, the path name, comma, after the path I'm adding the file name. The file name is file upload dot file name. Let's save the file upload dot save as save images. That's it, we have created, that's it, we have saved the selected images into this images folder. First we have created the directory, then we are saving the images into this images folder. So after creating a folder and saving the images into a project folder, now I want to save that image path into SQL Server database. So let's write the code here. To save the images, first we require the connection string entity name, which is CM entities. Our connection string name CM is equals to new CM entities semicolon CM dot the image saves dot add method new. I'm adding the image save. This image save is our table name. Now let's add the column name from the table. Image name is equals to the image name we are getting from this save images. So let's add the save images. Oh, we are not getting. Oh. Let's put this code inside the if loop. Now we got save images dot toString method, comma. The next one I want to save the image path is equals to the file path we are getting from the file upload one dot file name. Copy this one. Let's add the semicolon. Now the final thing, we need to save the changes. cm dot save changes method. Then return OK. Return OK method. That's it, we have done the coding part in API controller. First we have created the images folder. After that we are saving the images into this images folder. Then I'm saving the image path and image name in the SQL Server database table. Now let's consume this web API in MVC. So before consume this web API, first we require this web API URL, Google Chrome, and here we got the default output of that project, which is a home page. Now we require the web API URL. After the host name /, I'm adding API /. Let's add the web API name, which is the image path save. This is the API controller name. Add that one, enter. And here we got the output of the web API URL in XML format. It's showing some error message. The requested resource does not support HTTP method get. The reason we are not getting the data, we are posting the data. So don't worry about this error message. We just require this web API URL. So now let's consume this web API into MVC. Stop debugging. Open Solution Explorer. Now in the same controllers folder, I'm adding new controller, MVC controller. I click the controllers, add. I'm selecting the controller, and this time I'm selecting MVC file controller empty, add. The controller name is IMG, which is my MVC controller name, add. And here we got our controller. Now in this controller, I'm not adding any functionality. So we require the index view page. For that, we have added the controller. Build the solution first, build. And here we got a message, build succeeded. Let's close this output message box. Now let's add a index view page. Highlight the index method, right click the mouse, add view. The view name is index, the template empty without model. I'm not adding any templates or model class. Just click add. And here we got our index view page with some default code. Now first in this index view page, I'm adding the center tag, center. Let's close the center tag after the header tags. Save images into project folder and image path into SQL Server database. H3 Web API MVC jQuery tutorials. Horizontal line. Now after the horizontal line, I am adding the table border is equals to 1. Let's close the table. PR upload images. The next TR, in this TR we need to add the TDs. TD, close this TD here. TD. Now in the second TD I'm adding the file upload controller. Open toolbox. In this HTML folder there is an input file which is a file upload controller. Let's add that one. Now in this file upload controller I'm adding the property called accept image /hashtag. When we want to upload the files, the dialog box shows only the image files only. After that, next add the TD. I'm adding a button control. Open toolbox, input type button. The value of the button I'm changing to upload. And the next TD, I'm adding H1 bold tag. In this bold tag I'm adding span tag. ID is equals to span1. Let's close the span tag. Let's add some style is equals to color dot green. And this span tag I'm using to display the message the selected images are saved or not with a green color style. So after adding the designing part, the file upload controller and the button control and the label control, the span tag. Now after that, at the index view above, I'm adding at model IEnumerable. The project name is Web API dot. I'm adding the table name which is the image save. After that, now let's write the jQuery functionality. When we are implementing the jQuery, the first thing we require the latest jQuery reference link. So to get the jQuery reference links, open Solution Explorer. In the project, come to the bottom, there is a scripts folder. Expand that one, and notice here the jQuery 1.10.2 min.js. Just drag and drop into our index view page. So after adding the reference link, now let's add the script. Inside the script, $document dot ready function semicolon. Now in this ready function, I want to save the images. When button click the control, dollar, between double quotes I'm adding the button click ID, which is a button 1. When we are adding IDs in the jQuery, you need to prefix with hash symbol button 1 dot on event. The event object is a click event. Let's create the function semicolon here. Now in this onClick event, I am implementing the form data method. The form data method is used to append the data. So variable data is equals to new form data method. After that, I'm selecting the file through the file upload controller. Variable image upload is equals to dollar, between double quotes I'm adding the file input ID, which is a file1 hash file1 dot get method, and the get method takes the number of index. I'm adding 0, so I'm adding only the single files semicolon. If image upload dot length is greater than 0, which means we have selected the file, and that selected file I want to insert using the append method. Data dot append method. The append method takes 3 variables. The append method, the first parameter I'm adding the object name. So between double quotes, the object we are getting from this web API, this is a key name image path cell. Copy that one and add our index view page, comma, and the object, the image object we are getting from this image upload. Copy that one and paste here, semicolon. And this one is array 0. So after that, let's add the Ajax functionality. $.ajax semicolon curly braces semicolon. The Ajax methods I'm adding the type I am posting. I'm posting the data, comma. The second one is a URL. Let's add the URL, the web URL, which is this one. Copy this one and paste here. Now I'm adding 2 more important properties. One is a content type, which is false, and the second attribute I'm adding the process data colon false. The next attribute, the data we are getting from this data variable data dot, let's delete the semicolon here, add the done function curly brackets. In this curly brackets, dollar, between double quotes, once the image is saved successfully, I want to display the message in this span tag. So let's add this span ID hash span1 dot text method image saved successfully into folder and an image path saved into database table, semicolon. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. First, we have added the entity model to our project. Then we have created the API controller. Then we created the MVC controller. After that, we have consumed the web API in this index view page using jQuery. Now before run this application, the most important, we have to change the controller name. So to change the controller name, open Solution Explorer, go to top. In the project, there is a app_start folder, expand that one, routeconfig.cs file, open that one. And notice here the controller name is a home, which is a default one. Let's delete that one. And our controller name is the image controller, img. Copy that one, and I'm pasting in this controller. And the second parameter is the action is equals to index, which is the index view page. This is the one. That's it. Now it's time to check the results. Google Chrome. And here we got the output. The header tag save images into project folder and image path into SQL Server database. Now I'm selecting the file with the upload controller, choose file, and notice here the type of the files is showing only the images files. See here all the images only. Now I'm selecting the tables image, open. Now before insert this tables JPG image file into project folder and the path into SQL Server database table, let's check in the SQL Server table. The image saved table name is execute. The query executed successfully. Right now this table contains 0 rows. Let's insert the record, upload. See here we got a message, image saved successfully into folder and image path saved into database table. First we'll check the image is saved into our project folder or not. Solution Explorer, show all files. See here we got the images folder, expand that one, see the tables.jpg. The image is saved to this project folder, images folder, which is dynamically created. The folder is now second. Let's check the image path is saved into this table or not. Execute. See here we got the image ID, image name and image path. Oops, the headings are changed. Now it's not a big issue. So the image path is this one and the image name is tables.jpg. That's it.